Inner life can change outward events. From the Amazon best-selling book ZENLP, Learning Through Stories by Merle Maynon. I am fond of trekking and have trekked in 5 countries other than India, in the last 15 years. I would like to share an anecdote on how inner life can change outward events. In 2006, I spent 4 weeks in southern Thailand, trekking through some of the world's most beautiful rainforests. Inside the Khao Sok National Park, there are several treks with varying degree of difficulty. Having successfully trekked to Kailash Mansarovar in Tibet, twice, I chose the most difficult of the treks, which was a 5 km trek to Tun Glowy waterfall. All treks inside Khao Sok are solo treks at your own risk. I started at 5 a.m. with a small torch and enjoyed the trek along the forest path surrounded on all sides by thick tropical rainforests. Along the way, I took a dip at Tam Nam, where there was a beautiful clear pond formed by the passing mountain streams. As I went deeper into the forest, I lost all sense of time. I reached the waterfalls by noon, and on the way back, it became quite dark at around 4 p.m. and by mistake, I found myself lost. There were no other trekkers along the route, and in spite of trying to find my way out, the more I tried to find my way back, the more I started to find myself back at the same place. But after an hour of aimless wandering, I came to a clearing in the forest, quenched my thirst at a small rivulet, and thought about spending a night inside the forest and trying to find my way back the next morning. However, I had stayed for many months with the Kole tribals, inside the Simlipal National Park in Odisha, and decided to follow their survival strategies. According to the Koles, when you are lost inside the forest, follow the mountain stream and it will lead you to settlements on the fringes of the forest. I had followed the flowing waters downstream while trying to find my way back. Being used to many days of fasting, I was not worried about surviving in the wild without food. There was plenty of water to drink from the numerous waterfalls that crisscrossed my bridle path. There were no wild animals in the forest except for monitor lizards, gibbons, and wild monkeys. I was used to sleeping outdoors as I was an avid trekker. However, I knew that I could reach my treehouse outside the park by following a simple tribal meditation technique I had learned from the Koles. I sat under the canopy of the thick bamboo groves and started to focus my attention on the gurgling sounds of the mountain stream. I listened to the sound of the water as if that was the only sound that existed. After about an hour, I was in a deep trance. I gently closed my eyelids, rested against the bamboo, and creatively visualized myself back in my tree house. I saw myself walking up the steps of my wooden house, taking exactly the same time to retrace my footsteps, as I would have in real life. Then, I opened the lock of my door, entered my house, saw my notebook computer on my writing table. I went into the bathroom and took a shower, taking exactly the same time, as it would have taken me in real life. I kept on visualizing the future as if I was the one creating it. Soon, the cool breeze, the soothing sounds of the water and the twilight hours put me to sleep. When I woke up, I was back inside my tree house. I had seen a realistic dream. In ZENLP meditation, if you follow a vegan diet, listen to sounds of nature and creatively visualize your goals, meaningful coincidences will propel you towards your goal. I awoke from my dream and could hear some voices in the darkness. Soon, I could see a flashing torch. I started shouting and clapping my hands and pointed my torch and repeatedly switched it on and off, indicating to the trekkers about my presence. As soon as they saw my torch light, 3 Thai men managed to reach me in the darkness. They were local tourists who had entered the park at noon and were returning to their guest house. Soon, they escorted me back to the main gate of the park. They shared their peanuts with me and I bid them goodbye. Needless to say, I was back in my tree house, taking a shower with a strong feeling that what I was experiencing at the present moment had been experienced once before. This experience proves that inner life can change outward events. My creative visualization, while listening to the sounds of nature, had created a series of meaningful coincidences which led the Thai tourists towards me, in the twilight hours.